Hello everyone, this is Marina here with you, and we're just going to get started in 5 minutes. But meanwhile, if you can type that you can hear me and you can see me, that would be awesome. Just in the chat box below this video, and let me know that you're here, and we'll get started very, very shortly. So I'm really excited for the class. I see, hi, raw wildling. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm excited too for all the flavors. So I'll be looking to the left because that's where the chat box is. I have two computers. I have a very intense setup over here. It's pretty funny. So if you can hear me, just right below this video, there is a chat box. It's green, and you have to first click on log in, and you log into that either with your Facebook or your Gmail, or you can also just click on Chatwing and you can create a little account, and then I'll be able to see all of your messages. So I'm going to show you how to do it in a second, but it's right under this video. So if you can hear me and see me, just please type I can see you or I can hear you so that I know we're all good. And you can also let us know where in the world you are from. So I see Pamela with us. Hi, Pamela. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is everything good? So welcome everybody. I see we have 8 people so far with us. Again, this is Marina from Soul in the Raw, and we will get started in just 3 minutes. And meanwhile, if you can hear what I'm saying and if you can see me talking, please let me know in the chat box. It's right below this video, the little green chat box. And by the way, you can also pop it out. I can see and hear you. I'm across town in Pacific Beach. Cool. And I'm in Mission Valley. Oh, Costa Rica. That's so awesome. Oh, I'm a little jealous, I have to say. That's great. I actually was thinking of going to Costa Rica sometime soon, so I'll have to ask you for advice on that. So we will be starting in just 2 minutes, 2 more minutes. So everybody who's coming in, please let us know where in the world you're from. I guess you can all hear and see me, so that's a good thing. My mom lives in Mission Valley. Oh, cool. I love it here. I thought I wouldn't. I'm in San Diego, everybody, but my little area is called Mission Valley, and I thought I wouldn't like it because it's kind of in the middle of the city, but I actually really love it because the way that our place is set up is kind of feels like Hawaii, I would say. It's very peaceful and quiet, and we have a little yard, which has always been my dream. So I just work all day from the yard. It's amazing. It's pretty cool. Glad to share. We need to have these classes here. I know that Costa Rica has lots of raw and vegan going on. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm from San Diego. Cool, Pamela. How do I log into the chat? Margot, you're already in the chat because I can see you typing, so that's perfect. Here we are, Seattle, Washington. Cool. Very cool. In just 1 minute, we will get started. I love that you're all here early. That is so awesome. I love it. I was hoping that some people will get here early and we can chat a little bit before we get started. So I see that everybody is figuring out the chat box. Hi, Matt, Pamela, Camelia, Carol. Welcome, welcome. So I'll be looking over to my other computer because that is where the chat box is. I actually bring it closer so I can see it better. And everything that you're writing. Very cool. So in just 1 minute, I'm going to switch over to my little trusty PowerPoint and we will get into it. And for all the new people joining us again, please let us know where in the world you are from in the chat box below this video. Okay, it looks like it is 6. So I'm going to switch to my PowerPoint right now. Here we go. And again, oh, so many windows. If you can let me know that you can see this, that would be great. Can everybody see my screen right now? So just let me know in the chat box if you can see my screen, and I will, and also that you can hear my voice. And here I have a little explanation of the chat box in case you were confused. Hi, Steve, good to see you. So the chat box, you can see it and you can hear me. Marcy, I'm assuming that is the name. So I've circled the two spots where you log in. It says log out for me because I've already logged in. You can see it, perfect, and you can hear me. Yes, everybody can hear me. And then once you log in, you just refresh on the right corner there. So make sure to do that once you are here. And I will go to the next slide. And you can hear my voice, right? What am I supposed to do? Can't see the presentation. So Margot, can you see the video right above where you are typing? There's a black window and it's a YouTube video basically. So you have to click on play and then you'll be able to see it. All right. So I want to welcome everyone to this live masterclass. And I'm really excited to have all of you here. And I promise to make this really, really packed with information and practical tips as well. So I'm really excited to deliver all of this for all of you. And I would love it if you can share the link. So right below this video, it says share on Facebook. So if you can just click on that and share that on your Facebook, that would be awesome. So that your friends and family can join us too. It is not too late to join. We have a lot of people signed up, but the more the merrier. And I would also like to ask you to type in our chat box your name. Well, your name will be once you log in, we can see your name, but what you're thankful for right at this very moment. That would be awesome. And I will share that I'm really, really thankful for this class because I really love to share this information. I think it's really vital for people to learn this. And also just really, really thankful for all of you taking your time out of your evening. It's Thursday at 6 p.m. or depending on where you are, and you're taking this time to be here with me. And I'm so, so grateful. So thank you so much. I'm looking forward to this. I'm feeling healthier almost daily, grateful, do have some issues. Carmela, it's really good to kind of focus on gratitude of the good things. And I'm really sorry to hear that you're having health issues. It's really amazing what happens when, first of all, you change your diet and also when you keep being grateful for the things that are working. So it's really, really awesome to do that. And the good things will just grow when we focus on them. I'm thankful for this class, your knowledge, and steering my path to a healthy, abundant life. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. So everybody, you can keep typing what you are grateful or thankful for. And I'm going to go ahead to the next slide. So today what we're learning together is how to create flavorful vegan meals effortlessly through my simple 7-step method that will make you confident in the kitchen without using recipes. So we live in a very fast-paced world, and I just want to ask you so that you can get the most out of this masterclass and really be present to turn off your phone and close all of those tabs in your on your browser. And also when you close the tabs, this streaming will actually have a better quality. So dual purpose there. And when we really focus on one thing and we give it all of our attention, we definitely get more out of it. So it would be awesome if you can really be present with me today. So again, this is our chat box to remind you, make sure that you log in and that you refresh after you log in so that you can ask questions. And if you have any questions, I won't be looking over to the chat box all the time so that this can run really smoothly. But as promised, I will definitely get to all of your questions and we will not go off air until we do that. So just type them in and know that I will look back over there at the end. So feel free to type them. And today you are in the right place if you want to learn how to make quick meals in 15 minutes or less. If you want to learn how to cook oil-free vegan food and also raw, of course. And if you want your meals to taste very flavorful. That is what I'm focusing on today. And if you're excited about those things, this is what I'm going to address today. So our agenda. Here's what we're going to learn. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about me. I know many of you, but others of you are new. So I will share a little bit about my background and also my mistakes on my vegan journey. And I will also talk about how you can avoid those mistakes. And then I'll share my secret method. This is what my students call it, for creating flavorful meals, as well as 5 easy meal templates that I use pretty much every day for my main meals. Then I'll talk about some time-saving tips. And then afterwards, I will share an opportunity to learn more about how to make quick and flavorful vegan meals. So I'm hoping this sounds good to everybody, and we are going to get started. I'm very, very excited to share all of this with you. So who am I? I'm Marina from Soul in the Raw. I'm a high raw vegan blogger, educator, and recipe creator. So high raw means that all of the food that I make is vegan, and a lot of it is raw, and then some of it is cooked. None of it has oil or processed ingredients. That is what I live by, kind of my mantra. I'm a certified health coach, and I am the creator of the Effortlessly Flavorful Vegan Kitchen, which I'll tell you more about later on. So we're going to get to know me a little bit, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to play a little game. It's called 2 Truths and a Lie. And I don't know how many of you have ever played it. It's very cute. I love this game. So these are 3 facts here on the screen right now. And you have to guess which one is a lie. There's only 1 lie and 2 truths. So just type in the chat box 1, 2, or 3. What do you think is the lie? Number 1 is that I speak 3 languages, Hebrew, English, and Russian. Number 2 is that I've always loved to cook. And number 3 is that I initially went vegan for my health. 2. I see 2. 2. 3. Anyone else want to guess? Number 2. Number 2. All right. Okay, you people know me too well. So you are correct. It is number 2. I used to hate cooking. I really, really used to hate it. So the truth is that I'm originally from Ukraine, so I speak Russian, and I moved to Israel at a young age and went back and forth between San Diego and Israel. And on the right is actually not a photo of Ukraine. Believe it or not, this is in Jerusalem. Just a few years ago, we had a lot of snow. Well, I mean, a lot for Jerusalem, you know, but it was pretty cool. We actually had 5 days of snow. I currently live in San Diego, and I originally went vegan for my health to improve my digestion, which is a big focus of mine, also teaching people how to do that, and also for emotional healing and to heal, to work on my post-traumatic stress disorder. So more of an emotional healing focus in my life, and it's been amazing. I discovered veganism for the animals and the environment in the process of going vegan. Like many vegans, at first I didn't even think of this, but when I felt the benefits of it, I became more open to veganism for more ethical reasons, and it's been amazing to have all of those reasons for this awesome cause. And I currently live with my partner, Tome, who is the genius programmer behind Soul in the Raw. He does my website. And my cat, Lola, who you can see here on the right. She keeps us up at night since she was 2 weeks old. That's her job in life, basically. She has very strong lungs. And she adopted us, basically, or she owns us from a park in Jerusalem when she was 2 weeks, and we took her home and we flew her here, and she is very cute and very naughty. So you can see her here to the right. So I always loved food, but I used to hate cooking. And you can see there's a photo of my mom and I many years ago when we tried to drink some wheatgrass. And I had 2 grandmas that kind of like inspired me in a way. I had my healthy grandma, Bella, who you can see here, and she always made very healthy food, but very bland. Just didn't have much flavor. And my other grandma, the delicious grandma, who you can see here, she made delicious food, but very unhealthy. This is going to be about an hour, by the way, somebody asked. I think less than an hour. And if you have to go, that's totally fine. You can watch the replay afterwards. And this is me. And at 23 years old, I was getting my master's degree. I was working 3 jobs. I was exhausted. I had horrible digestion and I had 0 time. And this is the point where veganism entered my life. I didn't want to be like either of my grandmas. I wanted to learn to make healthy food, but I also wanted it to taste good. So I did not want to give up one or the other. I wanted to have both. And my goals were to improve my digestion and emotional health and to actually enjoy and crave my healthy vegan food, not just eat it because it's healthy. And I wanted to have time for other things that I love to do, including conflict resolution, which I was heavily involved with when I lived in Jerusalem, working at the rape crisis centers, and hanging out with my partner and kitty Lola. So now I want to share a little bit about what inspires me, and I hope that it's going to inspire you as well. And these are some amazing facts from the film What the Health. It's pretty new, and I highly recommend for you to watch it if you haven't yet. And you can read about all those facts on their website. And I didn't include all of the research that they posted on there, but all of these are supported by research, and the research is documented on this website. So first of all, the harms of animal products. Eating 1 egg per day is just as bad as smoking 5 cigarettes per day for life expectancy. And there's a strong link between dairy foods and autoimmune disease and cancer. And all of this, again, is supported by peer-reviewed research. Countries with the highest rates of dairy consumption have the highest rates of osteoporosis. So we have this belief in our society, right, that osteoporosis can be prevented with calcium in dairy, but this is actually incorrect. If you eat meat, your chances of getting diabetes are 1 in 3. Getting cancer are 1 in 2 for men and 1 in 3 for women. And chances of gaining weight are 2 in 3. Pretty crazy. There are no studies showing that eating eggs and meat in moderation can turn your heart disease around. So we have this thought also that moderation is key, and you always hear about moderation, but moderation is not what can actually turn around heart disease. Also, eating organic meat will not help you avoid contaminants, for example, dioxin. So there's all these really harmful chemicals in our environment that we can't control by raising organic meats. It just absorbs into the meat and then we eat it. It's very harmful. Now about the environment. Raising animals for food produces more greenhouse gases than the entire transportation sector. And raising animals for food is the leading cause of rainforest destruction, species extinction, ocean dead zones, and fresh water consumption. Absolutely mind-blowing information. So at the same time that we kind of know all these facts, the messages to eat these things are everywhere. So take a look at this. This is a cigarette ad from the 50s, and I've kind of, on the right, you can see I made it bigger so we can read. A medical specialist is making regular bi-monthly examinations of a group of people from various walks of life. 45% of this group has smoked Chesterfield for an average of over 10 years. After 10 months, the medical specialist reports that he observed no adverse effects on the nose, throat, and sinuses of the group from smoking Chesterfield. So really funny. This is actually a cigarette ad from the 50s. And of course, now we know how harmful cigarettes are. And then at the same time, we see this ad for milk. Bones, bones, bones. Maybe so, but unlike 75% of women today, there's one way I'm taking good care of mine, by getting lots of calcium. How? From drinking lots of milk. And we know that this is actually not true, and the research shows us that it's incorrect. This is also from an ad with Dr. Phil. Can you believe that drinking milk could help you lose weight? That is incorrect. And the dairy industry actually spends at least $50 million promoting its products in public schools. So why am I sharing this with you? Because I know that people really struggle when it comes to going vegan. They can believe in it. They can know how important it is for all these different reasons, for ethical reasons, for your health. But at the same time, these messages are all over. They're all over the media. They're all over just even schools, kids' schools. And so we really struggle keeping up our healthy diet. And that is one of the reasons. So the good news, the good empowering news is that only 5 to 10% of cancer is genetic. So we have control over our health. When people adopt a fully plant-based diet, their cholesterol levels plummet within a few days. 99.4% were able to avoid major cardiac events by going plant-based. And even Crohn's disease and multiple sclerosis remission rates were the best ever achieved from a plant-based diet. So this is so awesome, and this really, really motivates everything that I do. So this is what inspired me 5 years ago when I started this journey. And 5 years were how long it took me to learn to research and to chop all this information, and also to learn how to actually make my food taste good. I knew that I wanted to eat this way, but I had no idea how to make it flavorful. So now I want to share my top 3 mistakes that I made on this vegan journey. This is not what my food always used to look like. It looked kind of like green mush very often. And the 3 mistakes are constantly making recipes, preferring healthy over flavorful, and relying on oil for flavor. And now I'm going to explain more. So constantly making recipes is a problem because it took forever and they were so complicated and they had so many ingredients. So I don't know if you ever feel like this, that you're going to your kitchen and everything that you're making according to an exact recipe is just so complicated and takes forever. Also, it requires washing a lot of measuring spoons and cups, which also is very time consuming. And you also feel trapped in the kitchen and the grocery store because you have to follow an exact recipe. You can't just grab things out of your fridge and make a meal out of them. And number 2 is preferring healthy over flavorful. Healthy is very important. However, it never kept me away from my cravings. And what I'm going to share with you today definitely has, and I know that it will for you too. And now we get to oil. So a lot of people think that oil is a very healthy food, and I want to share with you why it's not. Oil is not a whole food, and you can see here on the left is a coconut, but when we make oil out of it, it loses a whole lot of things and it turns to a completely different substance. So you can see 2 nutrition labels here on the right and the left. The one on the left is shredded coconut, and the one on the right is coconut oil. The shredded coconut has a lot of fat, yes, but it's not entirely made of fat, while the oil is 100% fat. And you can see that by looking at calories and calories from fat. So 100% fat, no protein, and no carbs. It only has fat. In addition, it has a ton of nutrients missing. So we can see that our shredded coconut has vitamin C, has calcium, has iron, and oil has none of that. So you're basically eating empty calories when you eat oil. And another thing is that oil is really rich in omega-6s, and I'm talking about most oils. So things like coconut oil, olive oil, canola oil, avocado oil, all of those typical ones that we use are really high in omega-6s, which even though we have to consume them every day, they are very inflammatory. And we screw up our omega-6 to 3 ratio, which for vegans is vital to have enough omega-3. And when we're eating all of these oils, they're so concentrated and so high in omega-6 that it really becomes a problem for our body, and it can cause inflammation and even heart disease. So if you don't believe me about oil, I know that a lot of people have resistance when talking about oil. I want you to see what doctors are saying about oil. So Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, kind of the head figure that talks about preventing and reversing heart disease. In his book, he says, oils are not heart healthy. Between 14 and 17% of olive oil is saturated, artery clogging fat, every bit as aggressive in promoting heart disease as the saturated fat in roast beef. And even though a Mediterranean-style diet that allows such oils may slow the rate of progression of coronary heart disease, when compared with diets even higher in saturated fat, it does not arrest the disease and reverse its effects. So basically, the Mediterranean diet and all of the oil is not a healthy thing for us. What's healthy about the Mediterranean diet are the fruits and vegetables. And then Dr. John McDougall, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, says, not a day goes by that I don't hear someone say to me, my diet is completely vegan, but I am still 40 pounds overweight. The oily sheen on her face and hair are a clear giveaway that she hasn't been willing to stop adding the half cup of extra virgin olive oil to her spaghetti sauce. Many people fall short of their health and appearance goals because they have yet to eliminate all the added vegetable oils from their cooking. Eating out is a major stumbling block. More often than not, even after using the best communication skills with the waiter, the diner plate still glistens with an oil slick. Avoiding free vegetable oils is the last important hurdle for people seeking better health. Take the final step. Just say no to these really unessential added oils. So this is what we're doing together today. Guess what? You don't have to give up flavor just because you're giving up oil. And it is really unnecessary to eat oil. If you're struggling with weight loss, if you're struggling with your digestion, giving up oil is essential. So now a little recap. My 3 mistakes were constantly making recipes, preferring healthy over flavorful, and relying on oil for flavor and nutrition. So what do we do instead? Here are my 2 premises for you. Instead of making recipes constantly, you can use a method. And this method, which is what I'm going to teach you today, is how to become free and independent in your kitchen. It will save you time. And the thing that gives flavor to your food is not oil, but it's sauces, dips, and dressings. They will give your vegetables the flavor that they require. And you can make them without oil, removing the unnecessary calories and fat from your meals. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this today. So in conclusion, the secret to saving time in the kitchen, making delicious and healthy meals, is knowing how to make easy, flavorful salad dressings, dips, and sauces that are oil-free and packed with nutrition. So now I'm going to go into the 7-step method for how to make dips and dressings. And this method has 7 steps or categories. It's very, very simple. Each step or category is important for nutrition and flavor. And each category has options. So how you go about this is that you select 1 or 2 options from each, combine them in the blender or food processor, and blend to make your dressing, dip, or sauce. So now I'm going to share the steps with you. Here's the process. The first step is the fat. So instead of using oil here, we're using whole plant fats that are actually really good for you. They are important and vital for absorbing fat-soluble nutrients from your vegetables. And some examples include, and just keep in mind that every category has endless options. I'm just giving you a few examples. So some of the fat examples are nuts, seeds, avocado, nut and seed butters, coconut, olives, and beans. Even though they're very low in fat, I put them here because for people that really want to lower their fat intake, they can use beans in place of fat in this method. Step number 2 is the salt. So we don't want to consume way too much salt. We want to have about 1,500 milligrams or even less, especially if you have a kidney problem or anything like that. And our salty flavor comes from the salt components. So things like sea salt, capers, olives, and tamari soy sauce. Then we have our sweet, step number 3. And it's not necessary in every single recipe, but it is important in some. So examples include dates, maple syrup, and dried fruit. And then number 4, our sour, includes things like apple cider vinegar and citrus. And again, remember, these are just examples. So there's endless options for each category. And so just to recap, our first four are fat, salt, sour, and sweet. And now we take a little stretch break because this is supposed to be healthy and we've been sitting for a while, right? So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then now you can see me and we're just going to stretch. We're going to get up for just 30 seconds. You can all do this with me. We're going to stretch from side to side. Refresh yourself. Grab a sip of water. And we're going to keep going. Is everybody with me? I'd love to know in the chat how it's going and if you've stretched. I'll check out your link. I am the slot. I'm going to check out your link afterwards. Yes. Okay, you've stretched. I'm really glad. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the presentation now. Here we go. Right. All right. Slideshow from current slide. Great. I love our stretch break. Okay, cool. So now we're on step number 5, which is our flavoring. And our flavoring are things basically like spices, dry or fresh. So I really like curry, turmeric, cayenne pepper, smoked paprika. It can be ginger, it can be garlic, anything like that. And they have amazing health benefits. Spices are really rich in phytochemicals, antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, because they're basically ground up herbs. Ground up plants. So very cool. All right. Thickener is number 6. Thickener there's just 2 options here, unlike all the other ones, and it's chia or flax seeds, and they have a dual purpose. They give our food omega-3s. So remember how I talked about oil being really high in omega-6s, and some of the fats that I mentioned are also pretty high in omega-6s. So to counteract that, I use omega-3s like chia and flax to thicken the sauce, dip, or dressing so that it can stick better to your veggies. So it's really healthy and it's really important to the flavor. And then lastly, we have our vegetable component. And our vegetables increase nutrition and decrease fat. So think about putting into your blender a bunch of tomatoes or cucumbers or zucchini. It can be raw or steamed, whatever you prefer. And then that volume is going to take down the amount of fat that we use and also give you extra flavor and nutrition. So it's a win-win. And our little bonus is step number 8 is cultural inspiration. So this is something that helps you guide your choices of the other categories. For example, which spices and vegetables that you're going to use. So for example, Mexican or Greek or Italian or Ethiopian, of course, there are many more. So when I'm making a recipe, even if I'm making just a salad, I think of the different spices and vegetables that are traditional to one of these cultures, and that's what I include in my dressing, dip, or sauce. So to recap, what we have just learned are the components or the steps in my method. So we have fat, salt, sour, and sweet, vegetable thickener and flavoring, and our bonus of cultural inspiration. Now I want to explain to you that when you actually go home or go to your kitchen at home to make a meal and to make your salad, dressing, dip, or sauce, after you've learned all of this, you're not going to just know it. You're not just going to know it by heart from that moment. You will print out or write down these categories and have it next to you in the kitchen all the time. So that's actually what I did years ago when I started thinking or dreaming up this method. And after a little while, it just became so natural that these days when I'm making a salad or I'm making noodles or whatever it is, and I'm making a sauce or a dressing or a dip, I can already know the steps. And I literally go through them in my mind. Okay, what's my fat? What's my salt? What's my sour? And that's how I know how to give my meals flavor. It's very simple and a lot of fun. So now we have a little quiz. just to help you learn this better. This is a recipe for the Asian sauce, and you actually got it in your email when you registered for this class in a PDF. So you can see on the screen some of the ingredients. And what I want you to do is type which category that we just learned some of these are. So you can pick 2 or 3, you can do all of them, and just type it out what you think each one goes with. And a tricky one is mustard, by the way. So I'm excited to see your answers. Ginger, oh my gosh, my volume stopped working on my computer. I'm still watching, just can't hear. Oh no, I'm so sorry. You can't hear me say this, but you can always watch a replay. Chia seeds thickener, excellent. That's correct. What about the other ones? Anybody else? Have a try. These are pretty simple. I want to see somebody try the mustard one because that one is a bit tricky. Mustard equals flavoring. Okay. Chia thickener. Yep. Chia thickener. What about maple and tomatoes? Maple syrup is which one? Maple syrup sweet. Oh, that's right. right. Excellent. And our ginger and garlic? Mustard and ginger flavoring. Mustard spice. Okay, really good guesses, everyone. So here are the answers. So the only one that you kind of got wrong is our mustard. And that's just because the one that I use is the Eden Organics mustard, and it has apple cider vinegar in it, which makes it sour. It's a vinegar. But this is just a great example of knowing your ingredients, and also think about your vegetables. You know, some of our tomatoes can be really sour. Some of our tomatoes can be really sweet. So when we keep all the categories in mind as we make a recipe, it becomes really, really easy to know also how you can balance out the flavor afterwards. Those were good guesses though. If we would have used mustard powder, I would say that it is a flavoring actually, but because this mustard has apple cider vinegar, it becomes our sour. And I find that sour is really a must in all recipes. And by the way, mustard is a cruciferous vegetable, just like kale and broccoli. So that's a pretty cool fact. I was just watching Dr. Greger talk about broccoli and mustard and all these amazing vegetables and roots. All right, so now that we covered how to give your meals flavor, I want to talk about how to actually make a meal. Because, okay, you have your flavor, but how do you make your meal, right? So what I'm going to show you right now are some meal templates for perfectly flavorful meals. So all you do is combine the meals with the sauce, dip, or dressing. All right, so let's get into this. The first one is just a simple salad. So for a salad, you can use any fresh vegetables that you have and chop them into a bowl. And you can use greens, onion, tomatoes, radishes, herbs. These are, again, just examples. And the cool thing is how you get free in the kitchen is that whatever veggies you have, like let's say you go to the grocery store and they have some vegetables that look really good or vegetables that are on sale, you just get those and mix them with the sauce that you have, and it really doesn't matter which one it is. It's still going to taste good. So you can just really improvise and have fun. And a little time-saving tip is to use pre-washed spring greens. If you're really in a hurry, just mix them with your dressing, and that is a 5-minute meal. And number 2 is wraps. So here on the right, we have some sushi. As you can see, I like to cut it in half because I'm not very good at cutting little pieces. So yay, Ginger, you can hear again. I'm so glad. So wraps are basically a salad wrapped in something. That is how I think of it. That's the easiest way. So if you chop up a salad and you kind of want to be creative and have it in a new and different way, you just wrap it. So here are some wrapper examples. We have lettuce, like lettuce boats, collards, raw coconut wraps, which you can buy at the store or you can make yourself if you have a dehydrator. Raw wraps, so these are these raw vegan wraps that are really great and they do not have oil. Oil-free corn tortillas or nori. And that's just some examples, but you can really, really get creative. And, you know, I've used some bell peppers and stuffed them. So really whatever you have. Number 3 are bowls. So bowls are basically a salad with grains, cooked veggies, and beans added to it. So some examples are garbanzo, black beans, kidney beans, white beans, anything like that. A good oil-free corn tortilla brand. I do, but I can't think of it now, so I will definitely look it up and type it back to you afterwards. Whole grains, quinoa, millet, and amaranth. And cooked veggies are steamed asparagus, oil-free roasted sweet potatoes, and water sauteed mushrooms. So all of these are just examples. And basically you take your salad and you add 1 bean of choice, 1 grain of choice, and 1 cooked veggie of choice. And of course your sauce dip or dressing, and you have a perfect meal. Number 4, pasta and noodles. So you can either use whole grain or bean pastas, and there are so many options these days like black bean and whole wheat and millet and brown rice. And you can also use veggies like zucchini, sweet potato, carrot, or cucumber. And this is our raw version, so we don't cook them. And we use a spiralizer to make them. So here on the left, you can see some zucchini noodles with tomato sauce. And lastly, we have our fresh or oil-free roasted vegetables with a dip. So we make any raw dip and we use vegetables to dip it in. And of course, keep in mind, we're talking about plants here and very low fat. So you do want to eat a lot so that you're nice and satisfied. So some examples of fresh vegetables that I like to dip are carrots, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, onion slices, celery, broccoli, and cauliflower. And all of these really healthy vegetables, think about eating them just on their own. Not very exciting, but when we have a really good dip, it becomes really exciting. And then oil-free roasted vegetables are things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, turnips, any roots. And on the right, in the picture, you can see I've used Yukon Gold potatoes. They are absolutely delicious, and I did not use any oil. And look at that beautiful brown color. So totally possible to roast without oil. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you my favorite time-saving tips with meal prep. So everything that I've covered until now, you can make in less than 15 minutes with the following method. On the weekend, you're going to make 3 to 4 dips, sauces, and dressings and put them in the freezer. Now, a big key here is that you're going to divide them into serving size containers so that you don't have to defrost. And so you have little servings of each in your freezer. You're also going to make on the weekend a cooked grain. So you're going to make sure to soak it in water first so that it's better digestible and that you can get all the nutrition out of it. And you're also going to do the same with the bean and roast a vegetable. And all of the last 3 things are going to go in containers into your fridge. And they're going to stay there from the weekend so that you can use them throughout the week. And then when you're ready to make your meal, what you're going to do is just an hour before, you're going to take out your dip, dressing, or sauce from the freezer, your perfectly portioned out container, and so that it can defrost. And then you're going to pick one of the meal templates. So the only thing that you need to do is to chop your fresh vegetables, the ones that are not cooked. If you're 100% raw, then you are just going to follow step number 1 and number 3. And if you want to add a cooked portion to it, you just add your bean, your grain, or your roasted veggies or water sauteed veggies, and you add a dressing. And here on the right, you can see tomatoes, and those are oil-free sauteed mushrooms and some teff and a delicious tahini dressing in the middle. So super delicious. And with this kind of method, you're really, really going to save yourself a lot of time, because think about just taking everything out from your fridge and mixing it in a bowl. It takes 10, 15 minutes. And if you found all this information valuable, if you feel like you've learned a lot from it, then, and if you also need to make flavorful meals to reduce your cravings, to remove oil from your diet, and to get really excited about your food, not just eat it because it's healthy, but to get excited for every meal like I do, to improve your digestion and to stop depending on recipes, then I want to tell you a little bit more about the Effortlessly Flavorful Vegan Kitchen. And this is an online course that I have developed. And in it, you will learn how to make quick, easy, delicious, oil-free vegan meals, improve your digestion, start getting excited about your food, cut down your learning time. So all of this information, this research, it's both how to prepare flavorful food, but it's also about really knowing how to make it healthy and the foods that you want to keep out of your diet, and how to make unprocessed, really, really healthy food. Also to learn from home at your own pace. And I want to show you a little sneak peek inside the course. So this is what the course looks like. This is the curriculum, and you can see all the different modules here on the screen. You can watch them all in a day, in a week, in a month. You can binge watch them, whatever you want. And they are videos, and the videos look like this. So there's just a video playing, and you click play on it, and they are of different lengths. So this is a recipe that I'm showing. And then under the videos, there are PDFs with different information. Some are recipes, some are guides, and I'll share exactly what they are. So this is an example of the recipe ebook that you get with the course. There's 52 recipes for salad dressings, dips, and sauces. So even though my goal is to make all of you stop depending on recipes, the way to start practicing is to see other ones that work and to make them and to get used to it. So that's why I've provided 52 recipes. I promise you, you will not want to think of another dressing, dip, or sauce again, because it includes everything. There's ranch, there's Caesar, there's Italian, so many different options. And on the left side, you can see the recipe itself. It's very simple, simple ingredients. And on the right side are the nutrition facts. So that's really nice. I always provide the nutrition facts. And then I also give you a printable recipe creator. And there's 3 versions of it. So like I said, the method that you just learned, you really want to have it near you in the beginning when you're practicing, so you can print this out and just fill it out either in your mind or actually write it down every time that you're making a recipe. And now I want to show you a little bit about what each module includes. So the first module, the introduction module, gives you the course overview, talks about more in depth. I talked a little bit about oil, but it gives you more in-depth information, and it gets you really motivated and centered on what you want to achieve through a vegan diet. And then in the second module, I talk about how to organize your pantry really well, and I give you tips on storing food both for really good flavor and for nutrition. And on the left here, you can see the grocery list that you get. So you get a printable grocery list, and basically how I've built it is that it has all of the 7 categories that I taught you today, with all the options that I've ever used for each one. So you can buy all of them, you can buy 2 of them, and then you can play around with it in your kitchen afterwards. And then in module 3, I show you how to use the equipment that you have. So whether you have a blender and a food processor and you want to know how to use them more efficiently, or if you don't and you want to whisk everything, I actually show you how to whisk it as well. So that requires literally a bowl and a fork. That's it. And then in module 4, I go more in depth about this method that you learned today. I talk in greater detail about it. I explain every category and how it works and all of the different options under each, as well as the order of the ingredients in your blender food processor. And you also get a printable recipe creator that I showed you before, the white one, but this is another version of it. In module 5, I teach you how to taste test so that you know how to create perfect tasting recipes, because of course everyone has different taste buds. So it's really important to know how you can taste something and say, okay, it needs a little more sweet, it needs a little more salt, things like that. And I also teach you how to put your sauces, dips, and dressings together. In Module 6, there are 12 videos for really easy oil-free salad dressings, dips, and sauces. So I show you exactly how to make them. They're about 3 minutes each, very, very simple. And you can also download the 52 salad dressings, dips, and sauces PDF. So these are some of the delicious photos. You've actually seen them in some of my slides before of all of the amazing food that you get to eat and make in this course. And in Module 7, there are 6 video modules where I show you meal templates more in depth that I talked about today. So I actually show you how I put them together. And it also comes with 3 weeks worth of main meals using dips, dressings, and sauces more than once. So this means that I take one dressing and I make 2 to 3 meals with the same one, but very different meals. So it's really, really time saving. And here are some of the photos of the delicious, mouth-watering meals that you get and the PDF on the right. That's the first page of it. And you also get some bonuses. So the first one is a video on how to improve digestion. So I talk about really practical research-backed tips for improving your digestion. I talk about some surprising lifestyle strategies for better digestion. These include things that have to do with food, but also just the way that you live your life. And this is all about fighting inflammation and also increasing your good gut bacteria. And you also get a 1-week complete better digestion meal plan that includes all of these important foods and much more. And some photos from the meal plan. When I look at these, I just get excited about being vegan, honestly, because it's like you lose weight, you improve digestion, and you're definitely not suffering. So it's great. And I see many questions, but I promise I will get back to you at the end. I just want to get through all of the slides first. So the second bonus is how to soak and sprout nuts, seeds, beans, and legumes. I show you in a video 3 different ways to soak and sprout, because soaking and sprouting is absolutely critical for good digestion and for nutrient absorption. So when people say, I can't eat beans, they make my stomach hurt, that's because they haven't soaked them. So it's really important to know how to do this. And you also get access to an exclusive community. It's a Facebook community where you get weekly support from me, Q&As, and live coverage of bonus materials. So here's one of my students, Margarita. She wrote, I woke up very creative and did my own thing. Tzatziki with cucumber and dill and cashews. Fantastic. I followed the order and it went great. I didn't trust myself and only did a small batch and ate it all before I took a picture. Very cute. So this is another student of mine, Tina, and she calls the Effortlessly Flavorful Vegan Kitchen the best thing I have done in ages. This is a paraphrase actually from a video that she recorded about her experience, and you can watch it. I'll let you know how at the end. She says, before taking this course, she thought vegetable and salad meals would be very boring. Her experience in the kitchen almost always ended in bad tasting and unsatisfying meals. Her favorite part was learning the quick and easy secret formula to create her own dips, sauces, and dressings. She now has the ability to create what she wants, when she wants, without having to follow a recipe. She uses ingredients that she already has in her fridge and pantry, buys what is in season or on sale, and even knows how to adjust her meal's flavor to her own liking. Tina never has to worry about a boring entree again. She learned how to turn one sauce into several different meals for the week and even improved her digestion and energy levels in the process. So very, very cool. And another student of mine, Leanne, was surprised at how easy her meals are coming together. So this is a photo she posted of the salmon pate. She says it was amazing. I had a non-vegan friend over when I was making it, and even he was blown away. I served it on toasted rye bread from the Poway Farmers Market. I made it in my 1200-watt NutriBullet and was surprised how easily it blended together. I can't believe how good carrots, bell pepper, and green onion can be when blended with the right mix of seasonings. I never would have thought this would work if I hadn't watched you do it first. I still didn't believe it would work for me, but it did, and it was amazing. And I love this because these students are, I love them, of course, and they are so special to me, but they're not unique. They're just regular people who were very intimidated to get into the kitchen and never thought that simple recipes actually tasted good, but they did. And the Effortlessly Flavorful Vegan Kitchen is a shortcut to get the results that I get with these amazing dishes and just craving the food that I eat and loving it. To save yourself 5 years of so much learning, recipes, researching, and countless bad tasting meals, which trust me, I had many of them. The course is $197 and there's a 7-day money back guarantee. So if you purchase it, if you enroll and you don't like it, you can always email me and I will definitely refund you right away. So I also want to offer for everybody here on this live masterclass with me, I want to offer you a little bonus if you want to enroll. It is a meal review. So what this means is that I will review 3 days of your meals that you email me for optimal nutrition, for inclusion of foods for optimal digestion and nutrient absorption. So this means like different food combinations that you're eating, their order, what you're including in your daily intake and what you're not including for all of the nutrients that you're supposed to get in a day. And I will also review the ingredients in your food. So if anything can be a little bit less processed, I will send those to you. So 3 days of meal review. And I'm going to start a little timer. So for the next 20 minutes, this bonus is going to work for the first people to enroll. And you can enroll, check out the course on the link. So the link is right above and below our video that you're watching right now. And you can also go to courses.soulintheraw.com. Do not use the www, that's it won't work. And there's a whole page there that describes the course even more in depth. And you have to first enroll in the Soul in the Raw school, and then you'll be prompted to enroll in the course itself. So just keep that in mind. It's a double enrollment. And now I want to answer some of your questions. So Trader Joe's corn tortillas have no oil. Cool, Marcy. Do they have just lemon juice and water? Because those are the ones that I used to get. Jicama also makes really good taco shells. Ooh, yes, I love that. And you don't have to cook it. And especially if you get a really large, nice jicama, you can chop it really thin and use it as taco shells. Sounds awesome. Slice very thin and blanch to soften just a bit. I would say you can blanch or you can also use it raw. It's really, really good. Lime. Oh, cool. Yeah, perfect. That sounds perfect. I've also seen other taco shells that say non-GMO on them. And then when you turn them around, they just have lime, sea salt, and corn. So that's really good. And just a note on corn, you really want non-GMO corn because it can be, GMO. We don't want GMO corn in our system, right? So either organic or non-GMO. Make sure that it says those things. Any more questions from anybody? Ginger, I'm so sorry that you lost your volume. You can definitely rewatch this with volume later on because it's going to be recorded. I'm going to send everybody the recording, by the way. If there's anything you missed or didn't catch, you can always rewatch it. Any more questions about anything having to do with the method, the meals? I am here to answer everything that you have any questions about. So I'm just going to stay on for about 15 more minutes as our timer continues. And if anyone is interested in enrolling, again, you can do that at the link below or above this video where it says the Effortlessly Flavorful Vegan Kitchen, and you will get my meal review. Thank you, Raw Wildling. I really love that name. That's awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you for being here. I hope that you learned some good things to implement. Thanks, Carol. So if you start making any of your meals this way and to use the method, I really want to see. So please tag me on social media. And I think many of you are in Raw Souls, my free Facebook group. I recognize some names, but if you aren't, I'm going to type the link right now so you can join the group. Hi, Rita. You're new to vegetables. That's awesome. I love that. You will discover so much creativity and excitement with them. And I'm really glad that this was helpful to you. I cannot wait to see the meals that you're going to be making. So if anybody has any more questions, feel free to type them in the chat box and I will switch my screen. All right. Thank you everyone so much. Please, if you want to watch the review or the replay of this masterclass, you can go ahead and do so. I'm going to email you the whole replay right after we get off air and share with your friends and family as well. Thank you so much for being here. And remember to join the free Facebook group. If you have questions in the future, I will always be there to support you. And make sure to check out the Effortlessly Flavorful Vegan Kitchen and see if you want to join. The bonus offer for the first 5 students is still relevant. So anyone that is going to enroll, the first 5 is going to get a meal review by me. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope to see you again very, very soon on another live class in the Facebook group and on social media as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for taking an hour to spend with me.